Hi guys, dctmakes here. We're back on the CJ5, one I restored from 2008 to 2010-11. Kind of labour of love off the frame. Kind of sympathetic restoration. As you can see, it's got zombie skin from the other videos. The whole thing is coated with Hercules bed liner. Tough stuff. Anyway, the carburetor that it originally had was some ridiculous, don't know, aftermarket thing. Then we moved over to the Rochester 2GC with the electric choke. That didn't work real well either. So there's something really odd going on with the Rochester. It's pushing fuel in, oil smells of fuel, you can see it dripping, float's been played about with, try and cut that off. It's the same pressure as the from the electric pump as it is from the manual pump, just a little under 6 pounds. So decided to, as you can see here, zoom in just a tad, it gets a little fuzzy when you zoom in. That is a Carter 8308, the non-electronic version. Electric choke over there. No electronic cargo entry on the other side. And I've just finished redoing the new lines. Obviously the Rochester 2G had a different layout. Let's zoom back out here. Different layout for fuel. It doesn't go in at the front, it comes in at the side, so there was a different fuel supply here from the filter. So I just rigged up a new fuel and the accelerator linkage, throttle linkage here was completely different shape. Obviously the Rochester stepped out further, so I've made up a kind of a billet unit here, direct. That seems to be working pretty good here. Pretty simple to make. I just did test last night. I got to put some better pins in here for the rollers to run on. But other than that, it's nigh on ready to go. Had to make the 225 original 225 dauntless. The inlet has two vents that run up into the carburetor right on the side. This does also, but all of the gaskets that came with it are obviously the wrong size and everything for this particular engine. So this would have had a Rochester 2G GC, depending on the physical age, from 1966 through like 71 when it was Kaiser. But this is theoretically for the 4.2 inline 6 Jeep. So we're going to kind of tame it down a little for fuel, obviously. But this was when I had my buddy over here that's really good with carburetors. He worked out there's no leaks on the Rochester, and it would be popping, and it turned out to be more on the lean side, because when we introduced some carb cleaner, it smoothed out immediately. You drop off the carb cleaner and there wasn't enough gas. Really weird, because now it stinks of gas. Anyway, so we're going to give this a shot at the weekend. I just thought I'd give you a run up to that. I'll post that in a different video. But here is a Rochester, and my carburetor colleague, Mr. Robert, said, open it up, find out what the jets were in it. Well, they're supposed to be 51s. Research on that, definitely 51s. Now, I have an old middle section carburetor, and it's got 51s in it. So, hey, wait a second. Have you guys seen this? Gyroscopic screwdriver. Just hold the button down, turn slowly, and it turns quickly, and it moves quick. Pretty good. Christmas present. I just needed to find out. There's something blocked. We had the previous 2 weekends, we had it running at idle absolutely beautifully, like 690 RPM because of the heavy flywheel. And this, they were used to be lumpy, and this was running on the money, just perfect till you revved it up. Then it would start to pop down one bank or the other. Like I say, introduce more fuel into it, it smoothed out. So definitely a fuel problem. So my buddy had bent up the float, obviously getting more fuel in. That doesn't seem to have worked, so we're going to take a quick look. Just strip it down. Just take the pins out on the linkages for the pump. Accelerator pump in the carb, and there we go. Nothing screwed up on the pump. That's about where it should have been. So that's not the issue. So let's drop this out. Let's see, what do we got? Huh, I can't see the numbers. A little old. Let's see if I can get them with a flashlight here and see what we have. Still can't see. Okay, see if I can extract one of these fellas. Clean off your tools when you're messing about with carburetors. You're taking one of the main jets out. There it is. It's clean, clear. I cannot tell. Let's see the other one. Let's see if we can see on this one. They're pretty big. It doesn't look like 51. Let's see. Yep. I'm going to have to compare them to the ones that I know are 51, and I'll let you guys know what goes on with this. But for right now, this looks relatively clean.